I'm Gail Kamerer, and I'm the Education Chair at the Museum of the San Ramon Valley. And today, I'm here interviewing Betty Casey, who was a student at the Tassajara one-room schoolhouse out in Tassajara. Betty, when did you start the school?
Well, I started in 1942 during the Second World War years. We didn't have kindergarten. We started in first grade.
Sometimes there just wouldn't be students in certain grades.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They either had graduated, maybe an 8th grader had graduated and gone on to high school.
I mean, how in the world did one teacher teach all those grades?
Well, she had to be a juggler, I'll tell you that. She often got the first grade going with maybe our coloring or drawing, and she went on to the next grade. Sometimes she'd put the assignment on the board, and maybe the 6th graders were told to read, some part in their book, and that's how she did it.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Each grade, I mean, how much time would she spend with each grade, do you think?
Well, being I was in the primary grades at the time, my judgment of time isn't too good, but I guess we all got our fair shares.
Well, in those days, how did you get to school?
Well, me personally, being I lived about 7 miles from the school, my mother drove me, and now some students who lived a little closer rode their bicycles or walked.
Were there any kids who rode ponies to school, or?
At another time, at an earlier date, they certainly did, and they had a shed at the school where the horses could be fed and kept.
Now, was there a cafeteria in the school?
No, we didn't have a cafeteria. The teacher tried her best. Some days on a Thursday, Mrs. Arendt, the teacher, would make some hot dogs, and then she had this little hot plate, and so she could do that. And then on a cold day, we often had Campbell's tomato soup.
Oh.
Until this day, when I enter that school, I swear I can smell Campbell's tomato soup.
What were the hours of the school? You started at what hour and you went home at what hour?
Yeah, I think we started at 8, and we went home at 3.
Okay.
Normal school hours.
Now, did you have recess?
Oh, we sure did.
Yeah.
Girls loved jacks. Marbles were for the boys usually. We had a hopscotch, that was big. Jump rope, kickball. Just kind of normal kid play.
Did you have any kind of equipment?
Yeah, we did. We had rings, and I'm thinking that we finally got a sled. Something tells me that we had a sled. We had a swing. So we did have equipment.
Did you have a custodian at the school?
Oh, no custodian. The teacher was the custodian, and it was up to her to keep the school clean, and she had to be the one that was in charge of the school.
Did you have a school nurse?
No, we had a school a room for a sick student that we would call the nurse's room, but there wasn't any nurse.
But like if somebody skinned their knee or something like that?
There would be the teacher. She'd
Okay.
have to be our nurse.
When did the school close?
1946.
And how did you feel about that?
Well, I personally, I was scared. I was used to the comfort of all these children that I knew, and not only did the children all know each other really well. The parents were friends with each other, so it was like a big family, you know.
And do you remember your first day going into the...
Well, it was overwhelming. For one thing, each grade had their own room. They had a first grade room, a second grade room, and so forth. And there were so many kids, all different kinds of kids. I was used to our students. In fact, we were either Portuguese or Danish. I didn't think there was anything else in the world. And all of a sudden we had different kinds of students. Most of us were second generation Americans. Their parents had come from, as I said, Denmark or Portugal.
Oh, Denmark or Portugal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, gosh.
Very different, very different environments.
Yeah, that's really interesting. What fond memories do you have of going to the Tassajara School?
Many. One thing that I remember us having Christmas plays, and people all in the valley came, even if they didn't have a student going to the school. We had people come, and we put on a little play. I remember one in particular, Christmas Around the World, and I got the part of the little Irish girl and got to sing Tora Lorelei.
Yeah. What happened to it when it closed?
Oh, well, the school certainly was still used, but for other things. The 4-H had their meetings there. People voted there. Some people built a big barbecue pit, and they had parties there, picnics and so forth.
And I understand that the fire department owned the school.
Oh, yeah.
And then they sold it to the Museum of the San Ramon Valley, and it almost became a museum where third grade students would go and learn what it was like to go to a one-room schoolhouse.
Oh, yes. Now they have that program for the third graders, which both Gail and I taught there.
And they wore costumes.
Oh, yeah.
Children wore costumes. They brought bag lunches, and they spent half a day in the one-room schoolhouse like it was back in 1888.
Right.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.